Hello crafters and Cricketeers. This is the Design Space project from Circut Design Space for the YouTube video that I made about the folded corners patchwork. And you can see the elements here, up in here in the left hand corner. I'll blow this up just a little bit. You can see that we have the grid. Here's the grid. This is a 5x5 piece of cardstock that it will cut, and in the center it's going to use your pens. You have to have a Cricut machine that uses pens, and this will draw the lines as you see it here and then cut it out on a 5x5 sheet of paper. I use just it really doesn't matter about the paper because it's going to be completely covered up. I usually use like a cardstock grade weight, something, maybe a sheet from Joann's that has the basil paper. That's really good. Just use it in a medium tone or white or off-white, and it cuts really well on the Cricut. And here in the center are the elements that actually fill up the quilt card. And the top left here is, you see it says background. These are the big squares or triangles that are around the edges of the pattern. The 4 columns or logs or whatever you want to call them, the rectangles, which are around the center square. This is the center square down here with its little epaulets and the little triangles, or the little epaulets here on the top, the little pointy things. And then the 4 corner folds, which are the 4 triangles around the square. And if you watch the video, you know what all the pieces are. These are the 4 pieces. The way I usually do this is I take this particular bunch, and that's why I made them all the same color. It's because I don't want to load up a mat with a little 4x4 piece of paper to cut out these 4 little triangles. So what I do is just cut all the pieces out of a 6x6 inch piece of designer paper. And I just put 4 different sheets of designer paper on my mat, because you have to have 4 different colors. Put that on my mat and cut all of these at one time. I just duplicate this 3 more times so that I have 4 batches of this. And that way I can flip it over. I can decide if I want which side of the paper I want to use. If I don't use them, I haven't wasted a lot of paper because the whole thing is not but 4.5 inches. I would toss it in the trash. Okay, so over here next to it is, if you do not have ribbon and you want to make some ribbon strips, this is a ribbon strip pattern. You just lay your paper face down on the mat. It will draw these lines on the back of your paper. Then it will cut out the 3.5 by 5.5 inch rectangle that it's printed on or drawn on. And then you run it through your embossing folder. And then you take the strips and you just use your scissors and cut it on the lines after you've embossed it. Down here below we have our tags. These are, you should be able to view these without any trouble because they are just rounded corner rectangles laid on top of each other with an oval. And then this one has the little special piece right here behind it. So that is just the ovals again, the rectangles again with just this behind it. So if for some reason you can't see this, you can at least see this little graphic here. Or you can download those. And the rest of it's just rounded triangles. And below that we have our envelope that makes a 5.5 inch square envelope. This is cut and scored and on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper on your mat. Of course, your mat only will cut 11.5 inches. So up here at the top and down here at the bottom where the flaps are, you will have a 1/4 inch right about here that you're going to need to snip it away because it's not going to cut through that part. This is the graphic that I used in the project that is in the YouTube video. However, unless you are a Design Space member or a premium member and pay the monthly fee, you may not be able to see this. It has 2 fonts in it that are paid for fonts, so if you don't pay the subscription to Design Space, you may not be able to see these words, best wishes for a fabulous birthday, or the birthday cake, because that is an uploaded graphic. This cake down here is a graphic that is available on Design Space, so it may let you see that. If not, I'm pointing at things that you are not even seeing on your screen. So that's what it is. The file is called YouTube Folded Corners Patchwork, and the link to it will be in my video that it's accompanying the assembly of the item. Happy crafting!